Chosen one, the compliments flowing toward you this month are not simply observations. They are reflections. They are responses from the world around you to a deep, internal realignment that has taken place quietly within your soul. You are not being noticed more just because of outer glow or fresh routines. You are being noticed because your inner world has become ordered. What women are complimenting is not just your voice, your face, or your frame. They are responding to your spirit finally seated in its rightful throne. Your high sexual energy has been a storm in the past, intense, wild, hungry. It drew attention, yes, but also confusion. It was uncontained power, leaking through tone, gesture, posture. But now that power is no longer loose, it's disciplined. It no longer shouts, it vibrates. And this vibration, chosen one, is what people are calling hands-fine, glowing, different, powerful. They may not have words for it, but they feel it. Because the body always mirrors the state of the soul. And your soul is no longer lost in search. It is at home. You've stopped chasing impressions. You've stopped molding your presence to meet expectation. You've stopped giving yourself away in pieces to be validated by fleeting glances or shallow connections. And God, seeing your discipline, has poured back into your bones a light that no longer begs to be seen, but cannot be ignored. The compliments are simply echoes. They are recognition. They are confirmation from the atmosphere that your alignment is now visible. And this visibility isn't aesthetic, it's energetic. You are no longer the man who seeks beauty to feel alive. You have become the beauty in how you carry yourself. And now women sense that, not with logic, but with intuition. They compliment your smile because they feel the rest behind it. They praise your voice because they feel the presence in it. They linger after simple conversations because you have become a mirror of something they forgot they needed. Chosen one, take none of these words as flattery. Receive them as truth, returning to you. For what was hidden has been uncovered. What was raw has been refined. And this month, your inner stillness has become the very thing that makes you stand out. Not with performance, not with noise, but with wholeness that moves quietly and yet shifts everything it touches. You're not shining because you're seeking. You're shining because you finally stopped searching for what already lives inside you. And now the world cannot help but speak what it sees. Chosen one, there is a holy hush that precedes you now. Before you say a word, before you extend a hand, before you even make eye contact, your energy is already doing the work. This month, women are complimenting you not because of a new look or the cleverness of your approach, but because your aura has become a message. A message that speaks of power that is no longer loud and presence that no longer performs. Your high sexual energy, once ungoverned, has found form, not restriction, form. It no longer rushes out of you in sparks. It hums, it pulses. It lives under your skin like a quiet thundercloud, not seeking lightning but holding the charge. That containment, spiritual, emotional, physical, is what has turned your aura into something undeniable. It surrounds you like incense that moves before your body does. And those around you feel the aroma before they meet the man. You'll notice it in the way women respond this month. You'll walk into a room and they'll look up, not startled, not suspicious, just aware that something just shifted. You'll pass by and hear laughter, compliments, comments whispered with curiosity. It's not because you're flamboyant. It's because your stillness now carries the weight of someone who no longer asks for space, but becomes the space. This is what happens when energy is purified. Your thoughts have settled. Your emotions have stopped chasing shadows. Your body has become a vessel for something higher. And now your very nearness activates reactions. Compliments, smiles, soft eyes, subtle reaches. It's not manipulation. It's not seduction. It's resonance. You've become remembered, even by strangers, because your frequency is no longer common. Your aura speaks with layers. Strength without aggression, beauty without vanity, charm without effort. It carries the tone of a man who has found rhythm with himself. And that rhythm is magnetic. It doesn't pull people in. It makes them want to stay near without knowing why. You no longer have to speak to be heard. You no longer have to prove anything to be valued. Your energy tells the truth before your mouth opens. Women aren't complimenting your outer self alone. They are responding to the harmony that your entire being now radiates. It isn't surface deep. It isn't seasonal. It's soul-deep alignment, and it's written in the space around your shoulders, in the breath behind your words, in the peace within your presence. Let your aura speak, chosen one. Let it continue doing what words cannot, because this month you are not being admired for what you show. You are being blessed for what you now carry. Chosen one, what you're experiencing this month is not a coincidence. The compliments, the long stares, the energy that seems to linger wherever you go, it's not just luck or looks. It is the consequence of sacred containment. You have protected what matters. You've stopped spilling your presence in every direction. You've stopped letting your fire burn for validation. And now God is amplifying what you've been faithful to guard. Your high sexual energy was never meant to be erased. It was meant to be revered. And now that you've honored it, now that you've stopped offering it up to be consumed by shallow, hollow praise, God has begun to showcase it himself. But not with chaos, with clarity. You are not being made more noticeable so you can be chased. You are being recognized for the light you did not trade for popularity. That's why the compliments are different now. They carry sincerity. They are spoken with wonder, not expectation. Women aren't just noticing your appearance. They are responding to the frequency that has come from discipline. You chose stillness over performance. You chose silence over proving. You chose to let your energy serve purpose instead of pleasure alone. And that choice has made you a vessel for a power the world rarely sees. That power is what they're praising. That's the glow they can't explain. God is not rewarding you with superficial attention. He's revealing the fruit of spiritual maturity. He's letting people see what he sees. A man who walks with calm fire. A man who doesn't beg to be seen because he is anchored in something that cannot be taken away. This month, the compliments are confirmations. They are echoes of heaven's approval sounding in the mouths of strangers. They are signs that your protection of self has created presence. And presence is louder than promotion. You have not marketed yourself. You have contained your essence like a temple holds sacred fire. And now, when people encounter you, they don't feel lust, they feel reverence. They don't say it out loud, but in their compliments, this is what they mean. He doesn't look like everyone else. He feels like something I forgot was real. So let the compliments come. Let them rise and fall like gentle waves. But never let them change you. Because they are not the source of your glow. They are merely the reaction to a man who has mastered the power of being whole without needing to be praised for it. God is amplifying what you've protected. Because what you held sacred in private, he is now honoring in public. Chosen one, you are not the loudest man in the room, but when you walk in, the rhythm of the room begins to change. Not because you speak first, not because you take up space with bravado, but because your stillness has become a statement, a sacred kind of authority that doesn't ask to be respected, but simply is. And this month, that stillness is drawing compliments like a flame draws warmth from the cold. There was a time when you moved quickly, spoke to fill silence, adjusted your posture for attention, chased conversation just to feel heard. But those days are gone. You are no longer operating from a fractured place. Your stillness now comes from spiritual structure. Your peace is not apathy, it is depth mastered. It is power calmed, and that calm has made you a presence that people, not just women, feel compelled to respond to. This is why compliments come your way without effort. It's not about flash, it's about frequency. When a man is still within himself, when his high sexual energy is aligned with divine clarity, his energy begins to lead without movement. People notice not because of what you do, but because of what you've stopped doing. You're not reaching, you're not adjusting. You've become settled in a posture of enoughness, and that kind of posture carries the authority of kingship without the crown. Women especially feel this. They sense your stillness as safety, not because you are passive, but because you are in command of your desire. You are no longer pulled by appetite, you are led by wisdom. And that wisdom now sits in your shoulders, in your gaze, in the way you do not rush to answer or lean to be heard. You are no longer driven by impulse. You have become anchored in your own fire, and that anchored fire is what makes your stillness feel like authority. This is the rare charm the world forgets exists, the kind of charm that does not need a spotlight. It carries its own light. You speak less, but when you do, people listen longer. You pause more, but the space between your words feels filled with direction. Compliments now fall on you because your stillness doesn't just silence a room, it orders it. And what woman doesn't want to speak to the one man who doesn't flinch, doesn't chase, doesn't perform, but instead remains fully himself without needing to be loud about it? Your stillness is not absence. It is abundance held in discipline. And that abundance has become the atmosphere that others want to walk closer to. You have stopped rushing to be heard. You've started listening to heaven first. And that internal rhythm now commands attention without requesting it. So don't rise louder. Don't break your silence to win affection. Let your stillness speak. Let your presence rest. Because this month, women are not complimenting a face alone. They are complimenting the man whose stillness carries a crown. Chosen one, your stillness now holds authority, and the world has no choice but to speak what it feels. Chosen one, the compliments you're receiving this month are not shallow, they are spiritual responses to your completeness. You are no longer walking through life fractured, looking for someone to fix what you couldn't face. You're no longer performing confidence while secretly hoping to be rescued. That season has ended. And because of that, you've become something rare. A man who reminds others what wholeness feels like. Your high sexual energy is no longer scattered across fantasies or dissolved into passing attention. It has been gathered, sanctified, and rooted in truth. That rootedness now lives in your voice. It shapes your smile. It flows through your posture. And those around you feel it, especially women. They may say things like, "You have a peaceful vibe," or "There's something grounding about you," or simply, "You look good." But what they're actually responding to is the internal harmony you now carry. You are no longer seeking connection to become whole. You are whole, and that wholeness makes your presence a place of restoration. Your compliments aren't rising because you've learned new words or changed your clothing. They're rising because your energy has changed frequencies. You have become a resting place in motion, not passive, not stagnant, but deeply alive without being desperate. When a woman compliments you now, she isn't simply admiring your features, she's responding to the balance she feels within you. A balance that says, "I am not hiding, I am not chasing, I am not broken." And that energy, masculine, sacred, patient, awakens something ancient in the feminine spirit. Not lust, not fantasy, but trust. You are being seen as someone who doesn't just carry attraction, you carry alignment. And alignment, chosen one, is beautiful. It makes the world feel safer. It makes people breathe deeper. It makes women's eyes soften, not because they feel dominated, but because they feel honored in your wholeness. They recognize that your attention is no longer currency, it's a gift. And they compliment what they feel, not because you asked for it, but because your presence asked nothing of them. This is what God has done in you. He has taken your unrest and made it into rest for others. He has healed the places that once made you cling, and in doing so has turned you into a man who can hold space for others without losing himself in them. That self-possession is now radiating through your body like light through stained glass. And no one walks past light like that without noticing it. So when they compliment you, receive it. Not with pride, not with overthinking, but with the quiet knowing that you are becoming the evidence of what wholeness looks like in a man who once didn't know where he belonged. And now that you know, your presence is helping others remember how to find that place too. Chosen one, this month you're witnessing something profound shift in your connections. Compliments are coming from unexpected places. Conversations feel lighter. Attention feels more natural. But here's what's deeper. None of it feels like a transaction anymore. You're no longer receiving compliments because you gave something first. You're receiving them because you've become someone whose energy is full without needing to be fed. This is the result of reclaiming your high sexual energy. In the past, that energy may have unconsciously reached out, trying to impress, to initiate, to be chosen. There was always a silent trade, attention for approval, validation for vulnerability, charm for closeness. But now your energy stands still. It doesn't reach, it doesn't barter, it radiates. And radiation, unlike pursuit, draws things that are meant to be near you without needing to take anything from them. You are not exchanging presence for praise. You are not offering performance for affection. You are simply being, and that being is enough to pull truth towards you. Women feel that. They feel that your smile doesn't come with expectation, that your gaze doesn't hold secret need, that your compliments, if and when you give them, are not lures, but genuine reflections of what you actually feel. This is the difference between seduction and resonance. Seduction tries to create chemistry. Resonance is chemistry without manipulation. And you, chosen one, are now walking in resonance. The compliments you hear are no longer results of your performance. They're responses to your integrity. You're not attractive because of what you do. You're attractive because of what you withhold, because of what you've refined, because of what you've surrendered. And attraction, when it's no longer transactional, becomes transformational. It changes how others feel in your presence. Women feel the freedom to breathe around you. They laugh without guarding their tone. They speak more openly, not because you asked, but because your energy isn't pressuring them to be anything but themselves. That safety is felt. That safety is rare, and that safety is why they compliment you without prompting. God has shifted your value system. You no longer measure your worth by how many respond to you. You measure your worth by how still you remain even when no one does. And because of that, you've become a lighthouse in a world of deals and exchanges. Your light is steady, it is not demanding. And because it offers presence instead of pressure, women see you now, not as someone to protect themselves from, but someone they feel safe admiring without needing to explain why. Let this new way continue. Let the compliments come and go. Let the attention arrive and pass. But no, chosen one, this is no longer about being seen. It's about the fact that you've finally become someone who can see clearly without needing to be paid back in praise. You're no longer trying to attract. You are the space that attraction returns to when it's tired of being misunderstood. Chosen one, there is a shift in you now that cannot be taught, cannot be mimicked, and cannot be mistaken. It is the arrival of true confidence, not the kind forged in effort or borrowed from applause or held up by validation. This is the confidence that settles. This is the confidence that comes when a man has come home to himself. And this month, that settled confidence is the very thing women are noticing, complimenting, and quietly drawn to. You no longer walk like someone proving a point. You walk like someone who has nothing to prove. Your compliments are not coming because you're louder, flashier, or sharper. They're coming because people are sensing that your energy is no longer moving to get approval. It's resting in it. The war within you, between trying to be chosen and learning how to choose yourself, has ended. And the stillness that remains is speaking louder than words ever could. You've made peace with your strengths. You've stopped apologizing for your presence. You no longer shrink to fit around others' discomfort or exaggerate to outshine their praise. You've stepped into your body, your purpose, your fire, with reverence instead of recklessness. And this inner integration has changed your posture. Your jaw doesn't clench when you speak. Your breath flows without forcing. Your eyes meet others with kindness that doesn't ask for permission. Women can see this even before they name it. They compliment you now, not just for how you look, but for how your energy makes them feel seen without being targeted. They recognize that you're not flirting for control. You're present in your wholeness, and that presence feels stable, not strategic. It invites, not demands. It welcomes, not seduces. This is what happens when confidence is no longer a performance. It becomes atmosphere. This month, your confidence isn't chasing beauty, it's mirroring it. When someone compliments your energy, your smile, or your presence, they are not trying to flatter you. They are acknowledging the harmony you've created inside yourself. And that harmony has become rare. That harmony has become magnetic. Not loud like thunder, but strong like gravity. You've entered the phase where you don't need to be liked to feel worthy. And because of that, you've become far more likable than ever before. You're not shaped by how they respond to you. You're shaping the space by how you respond to yourself. That response is consistent, steady, and deeply rooted in truth. And from that soil, God is allowing natural beauty to bloom on your face, in your voice, and through your walk. Let this confidence remain quiet. Let it breathe. Because the more you rest in it, the more undeniable it becomes. And those who compliment you are not flattering. They are testifying to what confidence looks like when it finally finds a place to live that doesn't need an audience to survive. You are that place now, and your very stillness has become the crown you no longer chase, but now wear without even noticing. Chosen one, what you carry this month is not just power, it is refined power. It is not the kind that enters with noise or conquers with aggression. It is the kind of power that arrives with discernment, the kind that builds trust just by standing still, the kind that makes people listen, not because they were told to, but because something in their spirit leaned forward on instinct. You have become the man whose power is soft, not weak, and in that softness is sovereignty. You do not raise your voice to be heard. You do not flex to be respected. You do not glare to be feared. You have stopped performing strength and started embodying it. And this month, that embodiment is drawing compliments that sound like surprise, like admiration, like relief. Women feel it in the way you look at them. Not with control, but with honor. Not with hunger, but with awareness. Your high sexual energy has not been eliminated. It has been enthroned. You now carry desire like a king carries fire. Not for play, but for purpose. And that quiet readiness is what has made you unshakably attractive. You no longer need to chase. Your energy now calls. Not with manipulation, but with magnetism. Not with noise, but with nobility. They will complement your energy without understanding that what they're sensing is containment. You do not spill, you do not scatter, you steward. And stewardship is rare, especially in men. Especially in men who burn with this much intensity and choose not to consume with it. Your presence now feels safe because it is so rooted in restraint. Not because you are passive, but because your power is governed by wisdom. This kind of charm cannot be taught. It must be cultivated. And you've cultivated it through heartbreak, through healing, through hunger that you refuse to let turn into desperation. You've chosen to sit with your fire instead of using it to escape the moment. And now, that fire doesn't rush through you. It surrounds you. It has become a cloak of divine masculinity that rests quietly on your shoulders, invisible to most, undeniable to many. Women don't just compliment how you look, they praise how they feel around you. That is soft power. That is the rare force of a man who no longer confuses strength with intimidation. You've become the proof that a man can burn without taking, that he can radiate without reaching, that he can walk with fire in his chest and still offer warmth, not harm. Let your power remain soft. Let it stay unseen to those who do not carry discernment. Because the compliments you're hearing now are not about attraction alone. They are responses to the mystery of authority and kindness coexisting in your body. And that coexistence, chosen one, has made you the kind of man they admire before they understand why. Because your softness is no longer uncertainty. It is sovereignty crowned in peace. Chosen one, something divine is unfolding this month. Not just in what people are saying to you, but in what they are remembering about themselves because of you. When a woman compliments your energy, your voice, your presence, she may believe she is admiring you, but in truth, she is responding to how she feels in your atmosphere. Your energy has become a mirror, not of illusion, but of sacred recognition. You have become a reminder, a vessel of reflection, a quiet revelation. You are not simply attractive, you are activating memory. Not memory of a face or name, but of something deeper. What it feels like to be in the presence of a man who is whole, contained, and free of agenda. That safety, that heat, without pressure, is now reflecting back the parts of themselves that others have buried. Your compliments are not being pulled out of flattery. They are rising from the surface of what you awaken. This is the result of your sacred internal work. You've taken your high sexual energy, once misdirected and leaky, and disciplined it through silence, through patience, through prayer. You've chosen clarity over chaos, stillness over sensation, devotion over distraction. And now your spirit rests with weight and warmth, and both men and women feel it. Especially women, because when they are around you now, their walls lower without warning. Their hearts begin to thaw in your silence. Not because you seduce, but because you stabilize. You have become an emotional mirror, not distorting their reflection, but cleaning the glass through your very presence. You do not react, you respond. You do not analyze, you witness. And in that witnessing, women find themselves saying things they didn't plan to say, remembering dreams they thought they forgot, complimenting you without knowing they are actually saying, "Thank you for reminding me who I am allowed to be again." They're not admiring you as decoration, they're admiring what your essence allows them to feel without fear. That is the quiet, holy power of a man who has mastered his frequency. You are no longer trying to be impressive. You are resting in truth. And truth makes people stop, makes them look again, makes them pause in a hallway and say, "I don't know what it is about you, but there's something." That something, chosen one, is the radiance of a man who reflects, not projects, and that reflection has become sacred. Let it stay that way. Let your energy continue to be a space where others find themselves again. Because the compliments this month are not about how you look. They are about what God is doing through your posture. You are no longer a man who needs others to validate him. You've become a man whose presence validates others simply by being deeply, quietly, unmistakably whole. You reflect peace, you reflect fire, and now you reflect God's hand at work in a masculine soul that is no longer afraid of its own depth. Chosen one, there was a time when your beauty felt like something you had to maintain, adjust, or constantly question. You looked outward for proof. You compared, you sought, you second-guessed. But this month, something eternal has taken root. You are no longer trying to look beautiful. You have become beauty as a frequency. You are not broadcasting image, you are transmitting alignment. And alignment is magnetic because it cannot be faked, it cannot be bought, it cannot be posed. It is felt in your walk, in your silence, in the way your eyes no longer search. Your beauty is no longer in your features. It is in how you carry your fire without asking it to perform. You are no longer handsome because of what the mirror says. You are radiant because of how your energy lands before your body even arrives. Women are complimenting you now, not because of lighting or angles, but because your vibration is affecting them in real time. They feel calm around you, charged but not anxious, moved but not pressured, seen but not invaded. You are now creating an experience, and that experience is beauty incarnate. Not aesthetic alone, but atmospheric. When you speak, your voice carries grace. When you pause, your silence deepens the room. When you smile, your frequency expands and lingers like music after the final note. You don't need to be loud to be heard anymore. Because your presence is no longer a performance. It is a current flowing from sacred order. And that current, your beauty, cannot be ignored. You will hear more compliments this month, but they will feel different. Less about your looks, more about your warmth. Less about your style, more about your calm. Less about your body, more about your impact. Because beauty, when rooted in spiritual integrity, ceases to be surface level. It becomes a felt reality in everyone you encounter. You've become beautiful not because of who sees you. You've become beautiful because God now shines through the parts of you that no longer fight to be seen. This month, walk knowing that your beauty is not about appearance anymore. It is about resonance. It is about the way you have built your house on stillness. And now, the world can feel that stillness in the way you turn your head, raise your hand, or offer a single look. You are not beautiful because they say it. They say it because now, finally, your soul has become undeniable. And your beauty has become a frequency that leaves the air better than it found it. You've become the man who no longer stirs the waters to feel powerful. You've become the one who calms them. You've been tempered in silence, shaped by restraint, taught by heartbreak, forged by purpose. And now, without saying much, without even trying, you emit an atmosphere that makes people, especially women, feel held. Your presence no longer activates their defenses, it lowers them. This is where divine charm surpasses worldly appeal. Worldly charm says, "Look at me." Divine charm says, "You can breathe here." You have become that space, the walking embodiment of security without control, warmth without pressure, depth without demand. And to a woman whose heart has been hardened by performance, by fear, by being observed more than honored, your calm will feel like a new home she didn't know she needed. She will not crave your touch before she craves your presence, because your presence now soothes something deep. It doesn't stir chaos to feel exciting. It doesn't provoke anxiety to feel alive. It simply exists as a rhythm that refuses to be disturbed by drama. Your peace is not stillness from inaction, it's stillness from understanding. You understand yourself now. You understand your fire. You are no longer overwhelmed by it, and because of that, others feel less overwhelmed in your presence too. God has made you magnetic, not through movement, but through stillness. He's made your eyes a resting place, your voice a balm, your silence a sanctuary. You've become the calm in the storm, not because the storm disappeared, but because you've stopped letting it define you. And when a woman meets that energy, a man who no longer flinches, no longer chases, no longer pleads, she does not forget it. You will not have to convince anyone this month of your value. You will not need to speak loudly to be heard. You will not have to move first to be noticed, because your charm is now anchored in divine presence. You are not showing up to steal hearts.